So when we heard that President Obama was going to come to inaugurate the Sauti Kuu Resource Center, I started thinking about looking at the last day and how we were going to remember that day. I always tend to look at the final product and then work backwards. And you know, usually you give the guest of honor something as a token of appreciation for being there. And it just, everything that we normally do in terms of giving him a painting or a pen or a book just didn't seem deep enough. The message that I wanted to give to the president and to the world was so much more than just an item or something that was, you know, that had a material value. And so I started thinking, what could we do? And I love flowers and I love the garden, I love roses. And I suddenly started thinking about the rose garden at the White House, which was, you know, first started in 1913. And I started thinking, oh, you know, I would love to be able to name a rose Obama. And you know that the name Obama was actually for Oma, for President Obama, and for President Obama's father, Barack Obama Sr., who you know whose legacy and who the center is actually named after on that day. So there was very many different reasons why I wanted to do something that would be named after the Obamas. And so the process started of working with an international breeder and a local grower on how we were going to do this. And it normally takes quite a long time. It can take between a year to 18 months to actually name a rose. And so when I first called them, the usual thing, oh, Gina, you're crazy. It's not going to happen. It's going to take too long. But I'm kind of persistent. And I was very clear that I wanted it to be a white rose. And, you know, it wasn't going to be a yellow rose or a red rose. It was going to be white. And the white for me really signified the peace that President Obama always wanted in the world. And you know, every single time that you would hear him talk, it would be about inclusion. It would be about a more peaceful world. And so white was very significant for me in terms of wanting to have this white rose. The other reason was, and it was more evident to me after I met President Obama and got to spend the couple of days that I did with him when he was here. It was such a privilege and an honor, but he was so full of love. And you know, every person that he spoke to, whether it was the kids at Sauti Kuu or whether it was his family or us, you know, who were organizing the event, he was all about love. And so it was just very significant that we got this white rose. We managed to get it out in time, and we managed to get the name Obama, the Obama rose, out into the international market. Was really, really special to me. I've been involved in, you know, lots of events in the 30 years that I've been in business now, and we've always done some interesting things. I remember when Michael Joseph, you know, retired from Safaricom, we were part of the people that suggested the Michael Joseph Center be named after him. And because it was really quite, you know, just giving him something just wasn't enough. So I think the Obama Rose is kind of a cool thing. I think it's very meaningful. I looked at the president's face because he didn't know. It was a complete surprise. And I could see this look of, like, he was touched, and it was deep, and there was a really strong moment of, you know, of him realizing actually how much we loved him and how much affection Kenyans have towards him.
I'm here to introduce our newest rose to the market, which is the Obama rose, which was bred by Interplant and is now grown by the Sauti Group. We feel this is a great rose for Kenya, and it's very special in the way that it's a very big rose, as you can see. It has a great cut stage. When harvesting, it's easy to harvest and therefore easy to pack in a box and easy to export. For its head size, it has very good production. It has very good length, averaging between 70 and 80 centimeters, which is preferable for the market where Sauti Group will be sending it, which is generally going to be Eastern Europe. It's fairly disease resistant, doesn't get too many diseases. Our two biggest diseases in East Africa is downy mildew or powdery mildew. It's not that prone to both those diseases. It is, however, slightly prone to damages sometimes because of the size, so it needs a very it needs a good grower, basically. It needs someone who knows what they're doing.
We at Sauti decided to work together with Interplant to create a rose in homage to ex-President Barack Obama. And we've actually named the rose after Obama. As you've seen, it's a large rose to reflect his big heart. And we went for a pure white rose to symbolize the efforts that he has made in creating and pursuing world peace.
So it was really, really special to have that rose out, and I'm excited for the world to have it. I'm excited for President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama to actually have the roses in their house. You know, hopefully when Kenya Airways start the direct flights to the US very soon, they can actually go and buy the Obama rose. And so it's really great, you know, to be able to have the Obama rose at home and for people to now actually have a piece of that day and a piece of, you know, the significance of who President Obama was, not just to Kenya, but to the world in their homes. And I love them. I try and get them as often as I can. And I love the fact they're just so beautiful and strong and big. And it's just very, very exciting to have been part of naming a rose after a really, really special person.